Hey Sud Squad! So today we're going to be talking about SOPs. What is an SOP? Okay, SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure, and they are a very zoomed out bird's eye view of what goes on in your facility. It's documentation. In our case, it's in the form of a flowchart. I'll be referring to our SOPs right here. Put them up on the screen for you. Right here we have the production flowchart for our molds department. It goes from the cutting department, brings the dirty molds to the molds department in these big metal cages. But again, these details aren't outlined in the SOP because it is just a general overview of what goes on in this department. The operation is that they will clean the molds, and then they will build the molds, line them. Line molds are staged on pallets for soaping to use, and then soaping will use those completed molds, and then the cycle continues. SOPs are also just one example of some of the documentation that we use in our facility. SOPs are the what to do, work instructions are the how to do, and documentation is the proof of completing that task properly. All three of those are going to be your holy grail in terms of documentation and GMP compliance as well. SOPs are integral to business continuity and ensuring that you have a consistent product every time, and also that your operations around your facility are consistent. For example, an SOP that I reference on a daily basis is our documentation SOP. How do you generate a document? Where does it go to? What should it have? We have an official header and footer that goes on all of our documentation, and all of that is outlined in our SOP. So in all of our SOPs, we have outlined, in section 1, we have the purpose. You outline what is this document for? What is the scope of the document? That's number 2. So it documents who all this document applies to. Who's going to be using this document? And then in section 3 here, we have responsibilities. We assign this role that we have a job description for is responsible for XYZ, so filling out this document, for example, and turning it into production supervisor. Then here we have, as an example, molding lead and production supervisor are responsible in directing mold making to ensure that all work operations are accomplished properly and in accordance with good manufacturing practice. Then in section 4, we just have references. So if there are any other documents that need to be referenced in these this SOP or the work instructions, you will save it and put it into that section. And then this is the overall work instruction. So we have the overview of the area. And then in section 5.2, we have start of day. Section 3, we have the mold cleaning, mold building, lining, pallet assembly, and end of day cleaning. You really will get to know our molds department just by reading this SOP. But again, this is a bird's eye view of our molds department. We will go into the work instructions, which will give you the how to work in the molds department. These, you can really talk about every single aspect of your day that you're gonna go through when working in the molds department. Here we have pictures of cleaning supplies, dirty panel bin, and then we go over the everyday cleaning, end of day cleaning, and what is required. So we have them for every step of the way. We have the mold cleaning, mold building, lining work instructions, and then the palletization. You can really get detailed with your work instructions, and we implore you to get as detailed as possible so that you should be able to hand this document over to your associate. And of course, with help and assistance, they should be able to work in the molds department and understand what's being asked of them. We're going to provide a link below to all of these documents that I've gone over today, just for you to use as a template for any SOP or work instruction needs that you may have. If you have any questions about SOPs, drop it below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, lather, rinse, profit, repeat.